Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Reddit drama that'll make you question family loyalty. Story 1. My sister's been using me as her personal ATM for years. So my sister just asked me for money again, and I finally snapped after years of this. Look, I love my sister, but she's 28 years old and has been treating me like her personal bank account for way too long. She messages me saying she has no money and needs help, which honestly happens all the time. I'm talking about $40,000 to $50,000 over the years that she's borrowed from me. And I put borrowed in quotes because let's be real, I've never seen a penny of it back. Usually I just send her the money without thinking twice about it, but this time something was different. My therapist has been working with me on setting boundaries, and I guess it finally clicked. Instead of just transferring money like I always do, I told her exactly what I was thinking. I said it's her fault that she's in poverty because she keeps making the same bad decisions over and over again. Now before you think I'm some heartless monster, let me paint you the full picture. My sister dropped out of high school, never got her GED, and has refused every opportunity to better herself that our family has offered. We've suggested community college, trade schools, even just getting a steady job somewhere, but she always has an excuse. Instead, she bounces from one get-rich-quick scheme to another, or she'll work somewhere for a few weeks before quitting because the job is beneath her, or the boss is mean. Meanwhile, I've been working my butt off since I was 16. I put myself through college, got a decent job, and I've been responsible with my money. But every time my sister runs into trouble, which is constantly, she comes running to me with her hand out. And like an idiot, I've been enabling this behavior for years. When I told her the truth about her situation, she completely lost it. She started screaming at me over the phone, calling me selfish and heartless. She said I don't understand what it's like to struggle, which is ridiculous because I worked hard specifically so I wouldn't struggle. She hung up on me and then started texting me these long messages about how I'm a terrible brother and how family is supposed to help each other no matter what. The thing that really gets me is that she's not just asking for help with rent or groceries. Last month she wanted money for a new tattoo. The month before that, it was for some online course that was going to make her thousands of dollars working from home. It's always something, and it's never actually necessary. Now my whole family is getting involved. Some of them are saying I was too harsh and that I should just help her out because that's what family does. Others are telling me it's about time someone gave her a reality check. My parents are somewhere in the middle, they agree that she needs to get her life together, but they think I could have been nicer about it. But here's the thing, I've tried being nice about it for years. I've had gentle conversations, I've offered to help her make budgets, I've even offered to pay for job training programs. Nothing works because she doesn't want to put in the effort. She wants the easy way out, and I've been providing that for way too long. So am I wrong here for finally telling my sister the truth about her situation? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. My coworkers think I take diet pills but it's actually heartburn meds. So I accidentally started the most ridiculous rumor at work, and now I don't know whether to laugh or cry about it. I've been dealing with some health issues lately, specifically GERD, which basically means I get terrible heartburn all the time. I'm still trying to figure out what foods trigger it, so I've been taking over-the-counter heartburn medication pretty frequently. Now, anyone who's ever had to deal with those little foil packets that pills come in knows they're absolutely terrible to open, especially when you have carpal tunnel like I do. So I got smart and had my partner pop all the pills out of those annoying aluminum strips and put them in an empty Tylenol bottle that I keep at my desk at work. Seemed like a perfectly reasonable solution, right? Well, last week I was having a particularly bad flare-up, so I grabbed my bottle and took a couple of pills. My coworker Sarah was nearby and she made some comment about how often I take medication. I didn't think much of it and just casually said, yeah, well, I'm fat, so I need to take these pretty regularly. What I meant was that being overweight can contribute to GERD symptoms because extra weight puts pressure on your stomach, which can cause acid to back up into your esophagus. It's a legitimate medical thing that my doctor explained to me. But apparently, Sarah heard something completely different. A few days later, I'm in the break room and I overhear a group of my coworkers having this hushed conversation about diet pills and weight loss supplements. I wasn't really paying attention until I heard my name mentioned. Turns out, Sarah had told everyone that I was taking diet pills and had basically admitted to it when I said I was fat. I was completely shocked. These people genuinely thought I was popping diet pills at my desk multiple times a day. Some of them were impressed by my dedication to weight loss, others were concerned about the health risks of taking so many supplements. One person even asked me for the brand name because they wanted to try them too. I tried to explain that they were just heartburn medications, not diet pills, but nobody believed me. They all gave me these knowing looks like I was trying to keep my weight loss secret or something. The more I insisted they were for GERD, the more convinced they became that I was lying about taking diet pills. The whole situation got even weirder when my supervisor pulled me aside to have a conversation about workplace wellness and making sure I wasn't putting my health at risk with unregulated supplements. I had to sit through this entire lecture about the dangers of diet pills while trying to explain that I was literally just trying not to have heartburn. I even brought in the original packaging to show them what the pills actually were, but at that point, people had made up their minds. They figured I had just bought heartburn medication packaging to hide my real diet pills. I couldn't win. The funny thing is, I'm not even trying to lose weight right now. I mean, sure, I could stand to lose a few pounds, but that's not what this is about at all. I just want to be able to eat a slice of pizza without feeling like my chest is on fire for the next 3 hours. Now every time I take my medication, I get these conspiratorial looks from my coworkers. Some of them have started asking me about my progress and wanting updates on how the program is going. It's honestly kind of exhausting having to constantly defend the fact that I'm just trying to manage a digestive condition. Part of me wants to just let them think whatever they want to think, but another part of me is frustrated that such a simple misunderstanding has turned into this whole thing. Should I just let my coworkers believe I'm secretly taking diet pills, or am I wrong for getting annoyed about this whole situation? Story 3. I refuse to be my mom's personal translator anymore. So I just told my mom I can't keep being her personal translator, and now she's acting like I'm the worst daughter in the world. Here's the thing though, my mom moved to the US almost 20 years ago, just a few weeks before I was born. I'm 19 now, she's 57, and she still can't speak English well enough to handle basic adult tasks on her own. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my mom. She's been my only parent my entire life, and we have a great relationship most of the time. But I am so incredibly tired of being dragged to every single appointment and phone call because she needs me to translate for her. Doctor's offices, dentist appointments, phone calls with insurance companies, meetings at work, you name it. If it requires speaking English, I'm expected to drop everything and help. The breaking point came last week when I was in the middle of studying for finals at college. I go to school about 3 hours away, so I'm only home on weekends and breaks. I had driven home specifically to focus on studying because my dorm is too noisy, and my mom immediately started asking me to call various places for her. First it was the cable company because she was having issues with the internet. Then it was her doctor's office to reschedule an appointment. Then it was the DMV because she had questions about renewing her license. I spent literally my entire day making phone calls and sitting in waiting rooms instead of studying. When I tried to explain that I needed to focus on my schoolwork, she got upset and said that family comes first and I should be grateful for everything she's sacrificed for me. Which I am, but I also don't think it's fair that I can't have my own life because she's never learned English. What really frustrates me is that it's not like she hasn't had opportunities to learn. Over the years, I've found free English classes for her, bought her language learning books and apps, even offered to practice with her. But she always has an excuse. She's too tired from work, or the classes are at inconvenient times, or she's too old to learn new things. Meanwhile, she expects me to put my entire life on hold whenever she needs something. It's affecting my relationships too. I've had to cancel plans with friends countless times because my mom needed me to go somewhere with her. I've missed study groups, social events, even job interviews because she had some appointment that couldn't wait. My friends are starting to get annoyed, and honestly, I don't blame them. The worst part is that I feel guilty for being frustrated about this. I know my mom worked incredibly hard to give me a good life, and I know it must be difficult living in a country where you don't speak the language fluently. But at the same time, she's had 2 decades to figure this out, and instead she's made me her permanent solution. When I finally told her that she needs to start handling more things on her own, she broke down crying. She said I was being selfish and ungrateful, and that she never expected her own daughter to abandon her when she needs help. She's been giving me the silent treatment for 3 days now, only speaking to me when absolutely necessary. I've talked to some of my friends about this, and they're split. Some of them think I'm being unreasonable because family should help each other no matter what. Others think my mom has had plenty of time to learn English and that I shouldn't have to sacrifice my own future to be her translator forever. I just want to be able to focus on school and build my own life without constantly being on call for translation duties. Am I wrong for setting this boundary with my mom? Story 4. My regulars gave me a nickname that sounds like a drug dealer. So I've been waitressing for almost 20 years now, and let me tell you, my passive-aggressive skills are pretty much expert level at this point. But last week something happened with my regular customers that has me questioning whether I went too far. I work at the same restaurant I've been at for a decade, and I've got this table of regulars who come in every week, same day, same time. They've been doing this routine for a few years now, and since I've worked my way into a steady schedule, I've been taking care of them pretty much since they started coming in. We've always had a good relationship, you know, the kind where you joke around and they ask about your life and stuff. Well, for the last month or so, they started calling me by this new nickname. Instead of using my actual name, which they've known for years, they started calling me Crystal. Now, my name is nowhere close to Crystal, so at first I thought maybe they were just confused or mixing me up with someone else. But when I politely corrected them a few times, they just laughed it off and kept using it. I started getting this weird feeling about the whole thing, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what was bothering me. Then last week, it hit me like a ton of bricks. They weren't just giving me some random nickname, they were basically calling me a drug dealer. Crystal, as in crystal meth. And suddenly all their little smirks and inside jokes made perfect sense. Now, I don't know if you've ever been a career waitress, but there are definitely some stereotypes that come with the job. People assume you're uneducated, that you're probably into drugs or have some kind of chaotic personal life, that you're just waiting tables because you can't do anything else. Most of the time I let that stuff roll off my back because, honestly, I love my job and I make good money doing it. But something about this particular situation just really got under my skin. These people have known me for years. They know I'm reliable, professional, and good at what I do. The fact that they thought it was funny to essentially call me a meth head just felt so disrespectful. So when they came in last week and one of them cheerfully called out, "Hey Crystal," as I approached their table, I decided I'd had enough. I looked right at him and said, "You know, every time you call me that, it reminds me of a crackhead. Is that really the vibe you're going for?" The entire table went completely silent. You could have heard a pin drop. They all just stared at me with these shocked expressions like they couldn't believe I had actually called them out. The guy who had been using the nickname the most turned bright red and started stammering some excuse about how they didn't mean anything by it and they thought I liked the nickname. I just smiled my sweetest customer service smile and said, "Well, now you know I don't," and then proceeded to take their order like nothing had happened. The rest of the meal was super awkward. They barely spoke to each other, let alone to me, and when they left, they didn't even make eye contact. Here's the thing though, I'm not sure if they actually knew what they were implying with the nickname, or if they genuinely thought they were just being friendly and I completely overreacted. Maybe they really did just pick a random name and I read way too much into it. But given the way they all acted when I confronted them, I'm pretty sure they knew exactly what they were doing. I haven't seen them since then, which is unusual because they're normally so regular you could set your watch by them. Part of me wonders if I scared them off permanently, and honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about that. On one hand, I don't need customers who think it's okay to disrespect me. On the other hand, they were decent tippers and generally easy to deal with aside from this whole nickname thing. My coworkers are split on whether I handled it right. Some think I should have just ignored it or talked to my manager instead of confronting them directly. Others think it's about time someone put some boundaries in place with customers who think they can say whatever they want. Did I go too far by calling out my regular customers like that? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.